And now, live from Pandemic Studios, high above the glitz and glamour of Hollywood in Southern California, in Big Bear Lake, it's Teddy's Musical Adventure. Well, hey, groovy guys, groovy gals, Teddy here. Got another video coming up for you, and a singer-songwriter I want to talk a little bit about. Unfortunately, he is one who left us several years ago, but he gave some great music, and I just thought I'd give you a little insight into the life and times of one Gerry Rafferty. Now, many of you probably know who Gerry Rafferty is, but there's a number of you that probably won't. However, if I mentioned a song to you like, oh, I don't know, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with you, does that give you a hint? That was Gerry's band Steelers Wheel that he formed with his buddy Joe Egan, and had a couple successful albums. Unfortunately, Steelers Wheel was destined to fail, primarily due to legal hassles and disagreements and what have you. But they did have some great music. The aforementioned Stuck in the Middle with You, obviously probably their biggest hit as Steelers Wheel. But it also introduced Gerry Rafferty into the realm of prolific songwriters. A little bit about Gerry's history. He was born near Glasgow, Scotland, in a little town called Paisley. His father was Irish, and unfortunately he was a miner, a truck driver, and unfortunately an alcoholic, which would later on sort of enter back into the story of Gerry. He really got started busking in the London Underground after he dropped out of St. Min's Academy at the age of 16. And then he hooked up with a guy who you probably would recognize, an actor, comedian, Billy Connelly. And they formed a folk group called the Humblebums. Did his first solo album, which was prophetically titled, Can I Have My Money Back? Well, that little group lasted a while. Then he got with his friend Joe Egan and formed Steelers Wheel. And like I said, they were together basically 3 years, but they had disagreements, legal problems, but they did have that one great song, Stuck in the Middle. And Gerry sings that kind of with a sort of a nasally Bob Dylan drawl. And his message is he's trying to figure out why I came here tonight. I got the feeling something ain't right. This would give you a little bit of insight into Gerry's personality, if you will. This song was something like an English answer to a song that Randy Newman wrote. You'll remember one that Randy Newman wrote. You probably remember Three Dog Night doing it, but the song was Mama Told Me Not to Come. And it turned out to be sort of quasi-autobiographical for Gerry Rafferty and the song, from Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle. But it was kind of patterned along that Mama Told Me Not to Come thing. Why am I here? Something ain't right. It's basically a sort of a window into Gerry's makeup. He was a person who was much more interested in being respected for his music as opposed to becoming a, quote, celebrity or star. And as he continued his career, you can sort of see him pulling back more and more and more from the limelight, and basically he didn't really even want to go out and perform live concerts. He was perfectly comfortable writing songs, staying in the studio, recording those songs, and letting it go at that. He did not enjoy being out and trying to be forced to be a celebrity. Basically, that was the theme of his life, and you can see it continually throughout his life as he withdraws more and more and more. Unfortunately, as he withdraws more and more and more, he consumes more and more alcohol. He was very fond of tipping the ale, if you know what I mean, and it eventually caught up with him. His solo success came after Stealers Wheels disbanded back in, after 3 years. And he produced a solo album called City to City. Now, one of the reasons he called this album City to City, there was actually a song on it called City to City. So if you've got the album, that's the title song of the album. It wasn't the biggest song from the album, but he titled that song City to City because at the time he was actually commuting between London and a home in the north of England right along the Scottish border. So he was always, on the move trying to get this thing recorded. Obviously, the biggest song from that album, and the one that really endures today, along with, Stuck in the Middle, was a song called Baker Street. That was his personal biggest success, and it really topped the charts. It almost topped the charts, went to #1 on both sides of the Atlantic. The album, City to City, did reach #1, and actually outsold the Bee Gees' Saturday Night Fever. It still gives you that same kind of theme in Bakersfield. Winding your way down Baker Street, light in your head, dead on your feet. Well, another crazy day, you drink the night away and forget about everything. Again, that withdrawal. He talks about this city desert makes you feel so cold. It's got so many people, but it's got no soul. And then it's taken you so long to find out you were wrong when you thought it had everything. Again, talking about that whole thing of celebrity. A lot of people grind and grind and grind, and they get there and they're celebrities and and they find out that, hey, celebrity's okay, and there are personalities who can handle it, but it's not for everybody. Anyway, it wasn't for Gerry. But that album was kind of the pinnacle of Gerry's, career in music. He did a lot more albums, but he was continuously withdrawing from everything, and he was drinking, more heavily as he went along. And eventually, unfortunately, in January of 2011, at the age of 63, his liver just couldn't take it anymore, and he suffered liver failure, and he passed away. But he left us a wonderful legacy of music. I urge you to go out, and maybe you can find some of the early stuff that he did with Billy Connelly. I don't know. I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. But pick up the Stealers Wheel album, and by all means, pick up City to City, which has that song on it. It has Right Down the Line, and it, of course, has Baker Street. A great, great song. So what I want to do for you right now is I'm going to give you a taste of Stealers Wheel, and I want to play for you that song about clowns to the left of me and jokers to the right. I'm stuck in the middle with you. So hang on. I hope you enjoyed this little brief story about Gerry Rafferty. And stay tuned. If you like it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Again, like I said, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so I'm learning as I go. Welcome suggestions. Welcome any requests that you might have. And, you know, subscribe. Help me out there. I'm learning as I go, and I'll do the best I can. We'll try to put up one of these every week. So without any further ado, let's get into a little bit of Gerry Rafferty, Joe Egan, and Stealers Wheel.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got a feeling of something ain't right. I'm so scared, I guess I'll fall on the chair. I'm wondering how to get down the stairs. Arms to the left of me, compass to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yeah, stuck in the middle with you. And I'm wondering what it is I can do. So hard to keep a smile on my face. And I'm going up all over the place. Arms to the left of me, compass to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, you started out with nothing and you proudly told yourself big man. Then your family on control, slapped you on the back and said, sense of it all. I can see it makes no sense at all. Said cool